Hi guys, my name is Perplexion, and welcome back to another Pirate101 video. Today, I just want to briefly go over the new Power Epic teasers we have been shown so far for the Winter Free update and my opinion of them. Keep in mind these are only PvE related opinions. PvP will not be a factor in this. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and feel free to comment what you think of these new abilities and powers down below. With all that out of the way, let's get this started. Alright, so this isn't a tier list or anything, but I'm just talking about Concentrated Fire first because this is an ability that belongs to the class I main, Privateer. Honestly, I was expecting something not all that great, but I actually fell in love with the power at first sight. Not only is this an upgraded version of Focus Fire, this lasts for 2 rounds. I already have scenarios where I can imagine myself casting that on an enemy and have my companion from the same turn. Then I could potentially come in and deal damage along with it myself. If you guys watch my solo videos, primarily the Privateer ones, you know I have a hybrid shooting slash privateer. And while privateers are moving combat often, I allow mine to move only if necessary. So I can see very fun strategies with this power when test roll comes. This has to be a favorite power out of 5, but really, it's just because it could be biased. Okay, explosive decoy sounds a little funny to me. I'm not too sure what the description could exactly mean, but I do know this will affect the captain in a way. From what I gathered, it seems as if this is either some sort of cheat death system, either if you revive after an explosion occurs, or if you just somehow survive a huge hit, then an explosion occurs. I'm not sure what this scales on or how much damage it would do, so I can't judge too much here. But if this does sound like a really fun concept, I like how the devs are getting creative with these abilities. Alright, if you've been paying attention to the streams, you know Dom likes pushing the duelist archetype when it comes to Swashbuckler. Depending on how ambush works exactly, I feel like this could be a pretty cool epic. I never really utilized flanking alone on my Swash, but this could change things up for me, especially when I'm using a pure Swash setup. It seems like we're still trying to keep the identity of hiding, which is cool, but I'm wondering, if you flank an enemy with ambush, will you chain on the enemy then hide, then chain on the enemy if your wings is a whatnot proc, or will no epic talents trigger at all when you use ambush? Honestly, I kinda hope it's the first scenarios. This is a neat way to try to get Swatches to utilize a flanking epic in a way, especially those who are open to trying it, like a few of my friends who name Swatch. So I look forward to seeing this in use. Alright, I have nothing to say except I really like this power. We're upgrading powers we already have and are making new variants, which is really cool. The fact that Mojo Blade and especially Reaver do loads of damage, they will have the opportunity to do lots of damage like that from afar is insane. I'm wondering if they'll make a new animation for this, since it wouldn't make sense if you used the Mojo Reaver or Blade animations. This power will help my Witch immensely in solos, especially since melee enemies are starting to utilize Witch Hunter. If they're afar, I can still do loads of damage to them, potentially before they can even get to me, which is pretty neat. Now, I've heard loads of hate going towards this power. I already heard a few complaints about the Privateer power, but it seems as if many Bucklings aren't happy with this power. I am. Allow me to explain why. This power gives all melee allies Blade Storm, which I think is amazing enough. Not only that, but I see Buccaneers sending run Blade Storm 5. With this power, they can finally unequip a gear piece, giving them Blade Storm, and swap to something potentially better, then giving themselves another rank in combat. While I don't run Blaze Storm 5 for my Buccaneer because the damage buff timings are on, I can still grant Blaze Storm to my companions, especially if they already have Blaze Storm 2. I can allow them to hit Blaze Storm 3, which changes the accuracy versus dodge calculation to strength versus strength. Not only that, but it also becomes a sneak attack, which can be handy. I'm already imagining many scenarios where I could effectively use this. I've only stayed free of those scenarios. Also, somewhat of a relief to me, because we all know Buck is extremely broken, especially since he got free in prison. I'm not hoping for the class's downfall or anything, but in my opinion, they definitely needed something a bit more toned down than what they've been getting lately. And even then, this is still a pretty good power. I look forward to using it on both of my Buccaneers and watch them and their plans go insane on enemies. I think it'll be a blast. So, those were my opinions on all those new abilities. I think the devs are doing a rather good job with these abilities. Some may be underwhelming, but I'm just happy we're at least getting new things in general. What do you think of them? Feel free to comment down below and subscribe if you want. I'd highly appreciate it. I'll go ahead and see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.